Hey everybody, it's Tim, the Beast of the Marching Arts, and I am here with wonderful Jackie Brown. Jackie, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you, Tim?
I'm good, and we're going to talk about some flag spinning, everybody, and this is going to be fun because everybody needs to know something about flag spinning. That's sort of the context of this whole conversation. Jackie, of course, you do great work at Spintronics. You have so much great information out on your YouTube channel. You've done so much great educational work, and now there's a new course called Flag Spinning for Beginners and Beginning Instructors that is on our site at marchingartseducation.com. So I hope everybody will check that out. So Jackie, in case anybody doesn't know who you are, fill everybody in on the great work you're doing at Spintronics and all that other stuff.
So I'm Jackie Brown. I have been involved in the color guard activity for a long time, since 2001. And I have developed an independent group out of this not-for-profit organization. And we also have a YouTube channel where we posted up a lot of educational content about color guard. So I've been teaching color guard for 20 years, basically, and have been, at it for a long time and really developing my teaching techniques through this whole process of working with a team. And then we do camps every summer and we do clinics all over the country. I've even done clinics down in like Brazil and, so we've done a lot of teaching of color guard.
Okay. Not everybody can say they've done a clinic in Brazil. That is pretty cool. If you're watching this, thank you so much. Comment and tell us where you're watching from and ask questions. Ask Jackie, the guard guru is here. And so ask any questions and we'd love for you to be a part of the conversation. So Jackie, the course Flag Spinning for Beginners and Beginning Instructors is a series of videos. And what I love about it, it's very logical, like start here, learn this first, then go to the next thing, learn this. So tell me about how you laid that out in a methodical manner, because I think a lot of times people think, well, I'd like to learn how to spin, but like, where do I start? And how do I know where to start? What to do first?
And that's one of the things about this was I wanted to have a resource that sort of built upon, like each thing built upon the thing before it. And so like that was my idea behind it was, okay, so what's the very first thing that performers need to know when they're first learning how to spin a flag? They need to know how to do not necessarily just this move, but this concept. And they need to be able to move in this way and manipulate their equipment in this way. And then once you have that mastered, you move on to the next thing. And that's the nice thing about going through this course is it lays it out for you. I mean, it is baby steps. It's so easy the way that it's set up. It's like, okay, once you know this, it's going to be easy to learn this. Once you know this, it's going to be easy to learn this. And it's basically just, set up in such a way that it's the way the human brain works. It's, I actually have a master's degree in education, and that's one of the things that I studied was like, how do people learn? Well, this actually goes through and talks about how they learn, like how they're going to pick it up as they're learning through each concept. So it's not just about having the moves, it's about the conceptualizing, like what they need to understand before they move on to the next thing. And it goes all the way. I mean, it starts at the very, very easiest thing you could possibly think of, which, believe it or not, are not drop spins. Everyone always says drop spins, but there's easier things than that.
Oh, no. I mean, if you've ever tried to teach anybody a drop spin, that is not.
Yes, exactly. And it goes all the way through like turning around under 45s and stuff like that. So it says it's for beginners, but it's just because it starts at the beginning and it builds.
Yeah, it's great. So everybody go to Marching Arts Education. Right there on the homepage, there's a picture of somebody spinning a flag. It says flag spinning. You can find the course there, learn more about it. Sign up and listen. This could be for you. I mean, if this is like you, everybody should have these skills. So you could learn this, but you could also, if you're an instructor, you can learn how to instruct better, and then you can use it with your group. We have a band that is starting a color guard for the first time, and all of those brand new aspiring color guard members are using this course and finding it really valuable. We're going to be talking to them again later on. So Jackie, I mentioned that it's flag spinning for beginners, but also beginning instructors, because a lot of times I may know how to do color guard really well, but do I know how to teach somebody else to do it and where to start, what to teach first? So I'm going to learn how to teach it better by watching this too.
Yes, absolutely. So there's one of the questions we have gotten over the years. We have a Spinternship program where we actually train young instructors. And that's one of the things they say, oh, I've been a performer. I've done DCI. I've been to WGI World Championships. I've done all these crazy things as a performer. But then I got in front of my first guard to teach and I was lost. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know, should I start with drop spins? Should I show them this? How do I get them from this point to this point. And that's where I really wanted to hit that home, was that we need to have something that ties all of those things together and guides you through it as an instructor. So if you follow this, not only does it teach you how to spin a flag, it teaches you how to teach other people how to spin a flag, especially when you're starting with beginners. I was really able to put this into practice last year because we started a middle school guard at the school where I had been teaching at. And it honestly, the concept just flowed so well for them. That's the youngest group of kids, like as a whole, I've ever worked with before. And like, even as middle schoolers, we're talking sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth graders, they had no problem getting all of these concepts down and down pat. It was great. They were so clean.
Yeah. So somebody's asking a really good question. Hey, Adam, thank you so much for watching. He says, so to clarify, would this be good to take a look at as a student who has never touched a flag, or more on the instructor side? You want to answer that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If you are a student who's never touched a flag, I would definitely encourage you to grab this course and go for it, because you're going to have such a deep understanding of how to manipulate the flag. And then also, as you become, like if you're trying out for your high school team, as you are there in practices, you can help other people around you too. So really, it's not specifically geared toward just beginners or just instructors. It's geared toward both. It's beginners and instructors who are teaching beginners, or instructors who've never done it before, instructors who are beginners themselves. So it's both directions at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's what's so brilliant about it. And here's the thing, Adam, the way I look at it is, if I want to learn how to do it, I can watch the video and she's showing me exactly. But the other thing is, if I'm an instructor, I'm seeing how she's showing me. How is she says, do this, hold your hand this way. That's the stuff I need to be able to learn to say to my guard. So I feel like it works on all these different levels. And I'll say something else, Adam, because I know you are. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks everybody for watching. We're talking about the new course, Flag Spinning for Beginners and Beginning. Did I say it wrong? Beginning.
No, you're right.
Flag
Beginners and beginning
instructors at Marching Arts Education. This is Jackie Brown, who created the course. Anyway, the other thing is, and Adam, this is important for you, I think everybody needs to have some basic guard skills. If you are a drill writer, you need to know how this works. You need to have an experience of having a flag in your hand and seeing, what does it feel like? How much space do I need? Everybody, and I like to say, I want to be a master of the marching arts, not just the little thing I do. So if I'm a drum instructor, I should know something about spinning a rifle, just like a rifle instructor should know something about how snare drums work. Like, we have to know how all the pieces around, we're all part of this same machine. We need to know how it all works. So I would really encourage anybody to learn the basics. Like Jackie, no matter what you do, you need to have the basics.
Yep. And we did a trial run with this specific pedagogy at the Missouri Bandmasters Association conference last summer. So I actually taught this and went through each individual step with a group of band directors in the room. And we thought that there was going to be 4 people showing up because of the time of when our session ended up being at the conference. But we ended up having, we dressed out 50 flags, and we didn't have enough flags for everybody who came. So it was amazing that we had so many people there. But we basically went through and set this up and did this with band directors. And even though band directors who had no experience whatsoever, by the end of that session, and we're talking, this was only, I think, an hour and a half, maybe a little bit less than that. By the end of that session, every single band director that was there that got to spin a flag was able to do everything that we had covered. And they were understanding of it enough that they were able to turn to somebody next to them and say, hey, this is how you do this, and show their understanding of it. So we even put together a little choreography, and all the band directors were so excited to do it. So that's a really, really nice thing that we actually got to see it in person. We got to see it happen in real time. And that's why I know this works. That's why when I put it together to be an online course, it's just, I have so much confidence in it because it works.
Right. And if you're like me, I want to make sure I'm learning this in the right order. I just don't want to go to YouTube and start learning something. I want to know where to start. I want to do it in order. Hey, David, thank you for watching from LinkedIn. And thank you. You said amen to your comment about everybody needs to know how to do this. And I would say this, Jackie, band directors are often not guard people, and they're very intimidated by it. And a lot of times they just don't even see them. I've worked with band directors before where somehow it gets pixelated out for them, and they're watching the drum, they're watching the horns and the guard and the drums, but they don't even notice the guards on the field. And I've said to them before, like, oh gosh, the guard or the train wreck, and they're like, what happened? What
there's a color guard out there? What?
So, I mean, come on, you have to know something about it. And if you're going to have a student on your field doing something, you need to have a basic knowledge. Band directors would never think that, like, okay, I don't know anything about oboe, but I have an oboe player, and I don't care. I don't need to know anything about it. Like, no, you need to be able to help that person. Those guard people on your field are part of your show. They're part of your band, and you need to have a basic knowledge. So if you're a band director and you don't know anything about this, and you will admit that, like, this is out of your league, then sign up for this course and just learn, do a few things with this video. You can do it in the privacy of your own home. Nobody doesn't know. And then you can show up at rehearsal one day and do a flag toss and blow everybody's mind. It'll be really fun.
I will say I've worked with, dozens and dozens of band directors all over the country. And the ones who really like have a little bit of understanding of what the color guard is doing and why they're doing it, they can be there an exponential amount of times more than the band directors who are just like, oh, I had no idea, so I just hired you to come out and watch them. And yeah, like there's so much I can do for your guard, but it's only so much. Having a band director who actually knows something about what's going on and actually has an understanding of what's supposed to be going on it helps so much. It's not a little bit of help. It's not just a little, it's a lot. Like, it is a huge difference in those programs, from those programs where the band director is like, no, I'm going to hire a professional, versus, okay, I'm going to hire a professional, but also I'm going to understand something about what they're supposed to be doing. That the divide between those two types of band directors it'll blow your mind once you're like actually in person and seeing it in real time.
Yeah. Listen, you need to be able to be knowledgeable about everything that's going on as part of your band and as part of your program, as part of your show. So don't abdicate this part. I would say, Jackie, also, like, drum instructors and drum performers, they need to understand how this works. There's always a part in every show now where there's all these rifles running around all amongst the snare drums and the tenors and everything. And like that snare instructor, that battery instructor, they need to understand how rifles work. You know what I mean? Like, they shouldn't just try not to get hit. You're going to do a better job. You're going to be more valuable. You're going to bring more to the table. You can contribute more if you understand about how this stuff works. I mentioned rifles, by the way. There is a rifle version of this coming.
It is coming. It is in process right now, and we will be releasing it on Marching Arts Education in the future. I don't have a date yet, but in the future.
No, that's awesome, and hopefully even sabers or maybe air blades, like whatever. Like, there's all the stuff that's helpful. We're going to try to not to pile on, Jackie. Like, I loved it. It was a lot of work to do this. I appreciate that you did it. By the way, Adam, thank you for those kind words. I'm glad you found our resources helpful. And he says, thank you, Jackie, for providing this. Jackie, you just realize the world needs this, and you're making it available, and I love that.
Yeah, well, it's something I wish I had when I was a performer. When I was in high school, I just remember going on YouTube when YouTube became a thing, and I was like, oh man, there's these like videos that teach you how to do, I don't know, cheerleading and stuff like that. Or there's so many resources out there for all these other programs. Why is there no resources out there for color guard? And that's what actually drove me to start the YouTube channel when I did, was that I wanted there to be resources for color guard. And so I wanted to bring my understanding and knowledge from what I learned. I am an alumni of Blue Stars Drum and Bugle Corps. And so, a lot of what I learned through Marching Drum Corps, there's a huge, I don't know if you if you want to say like paywall or something, but there is a gap between those like high school performers and then those drum corps performers, and whether that gap is because of a paywall or that gap is because of location or whatever it is, it can be hard to breach that. And so I wanted to bring all of what I had learned there and feed it out to anybody who needs it, really. Doesn't have to be performers. It can be adults who are like, you know what? I haven't done color guard in 20 years or something. I want to see what it's all about now and how different it is than it used to be.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. And again, as we said earlier, the course is very methodically laid out. Here's where you start. Here's the first thing you need to know. Now let's build on that for the next thing. Let's build on that for the next thing. So you have somebody that knows what they're doing, which is Jackie, who's been an instructor and has a lot of knowledge to share, laying it out for you methodically. That's what's so valuable about this. Don't just go to YouTube and just start learning something, because you need to know. It's sort of like you wouldn't tell a trumpet player, okay, well, hit a high C and play a run. No, like, you have to learn, right. How do I hold it? How do I make it sound? Like, there's steps. to all of this. So,
And then there's like those people who are really natural at it, like those people who are able to just pick up any instrument and just do and play it. And then they don't necessarily always know how to teach that though. They're like, oh yeah, I can do color guard. I can pick up a rifle and toss an 8 and do my flourishes and stuff. Or I can, do whatever on a flag, turn around and catch it under my leg or something. But do you know how to teach it to those who don't know how to do it, to those who don't pick it up naturally? And that's the important thing I think we need to hit home with this course, is that they are the ones who really need it. You need to bring it to those people who aren't natural at it necessarily.
Right. And sometimes the people that are natural at it don't really understand how to teach it appropriately because it wasn't hard for them. They just sort of immediately did it. They're the ones maybe that more than anybody need to see, okay, here's the first thing you need to tell them, and here's where you start. So yeah, by the way, David, who's watching, says, yay, Blue Stars. What years were you in the Blue Stars, Jackie?
I marched in 2006, and then I started marching in 2008, and I broke my shoulder. So I was not in the show in 2008, but I did do all of the off-season camps.
Nice. What was the 2006 show? Which one was that? I always remember the name of the show, not the year.
That was the Gift of Freedom. That was actually the Blue Stars' return back to world class after being gone forever. And actually, if you watch the DVD of the show, when we did Simple Gifts, they did like the saber section, and I have this like insane close-up for way too long on saber.
Cool. Well, you're a star on the DCI videos. That's awesome.
It's great.
Everybody, you heard it here first. Go see Jackie in action. 2006 Blue Stars, right?
2006 Blue Stars.
Oh, very cool. All right, how great. Well, listen, I so appreciate you going to all the trouble to put the course together, share your expertise in this way. It's really valuable. If you're watching this, go check it out. Go to marchingartseducation.com. Right there on the homepage, there's a link to the picture, a graphic to take you right to it. And also, if you know somebody that probably could use this, and we all know a bunch of people that probably should use this, or they need this for them in their guard, or they need this for themselves, or whatever, make sure they know about it. Jackie, what do you want to say before we go?
Oh man, I want to say thank you, Tim. Actually, this has been such a great opportunity to be able to put this all together and put this up and reach so many people with it. Our social medias actually have been like growing like crazy too. So anybody who's watching and doesn't follow Spintronics Guard on social media, just go to @Spintronics Guard. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all of the things. Having more subscribers and followers actually really helps our team out. We are a not-for-profit organization, so we also accept donations, and we have a Patreon. But yeah, anything you can follow, and then you can ask questions. And if I'm not available necessarily personally, I have a whole team of people who can answer questions and, just help. We just want to help and put all this good stuff out into the community and keep everybody learning, especially with things like crazy things going on in the world. Like, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow, but we can keep learning color guard.
Well, thank you for being one of the helpers. I love to help promote the people that are out there doing good work and helping other people do better. And I love that. By the way, Spintronics Winter Guard is going to Dayton for the first time. So all of you that will be in Dayton, watch for them. Jackie, that's really exciting.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited about it. Yeah, we're going to be going to Dayton. We'll be we're actually going to be going to the Tulsa Regional first in a couple of weeks. And then we'll be going to Dayton, Ohio for World Championships. And this is our first time ever going to be, it's my first time ever going to World Championships. I've been to lots of WGI events and conferences and all sorts of other stuff that they've had, but it's going to be my first time going to World Championships, and all of our students, it's their first time. So we're just going to be starry-eyed when we get there, I'm sure.
That's going to be fantastic. What a great experience it's going to be for you and for all of your members. So that's awesome. So thanks for talking to me today. Everybody go to marchingartseducation.com. Check out the new course, Flag Spinning for Beginners and Beginning Instructors. Jackie, I love it. Thanks again.
Yes, thank you so much. It's been awesome.